He heard it before anyone else, the march of an empire to its doom. Peace was his enemy, war was his obsession, and when the world finally gave him what he wanted, it burned everything he swore to protect. Episode 17.1, Conrad von Hotzendorf, the general who wanted a war. Officers of the Broken Crown. Prologue, the man who heard marching before anyone else. Vienna, 1906. In a city where waltzes still drift through the evening air, one man sits behind a wooden desk, hearing something no one else does, the footsteps of an approaching war. Conrad von Hotzendorf, chief of staff of an empire grown old, tired, and dangerously fragile. He is no poet seeking destiny, no philosopher craving meaning, not even a politician hungry for power. He is something far simpler and far more dangerous. A soldier who believes the only cure in the world is conflict. On his desk, beside maps of the Balkans, a line is written in his own stern handwriting. Peace is the greatest enemy. And here, in the quiet of one man's mind, the fall of an empire begins. Scene 1. The General of Obsessions. Vienna, 1908 to 1914. For 6 years, Hotzendorf writes more than 30 official letters to the emperor, all demanding the same thing. War with Serbia. Immediate war. War without hesitation. To him, war is not a threat. It is purification, a necessity, a form of breathing. But beneath this obsession lies a darker truth. His impossible love for a married woman, a loneliness that cracks the strongest armor, and a fear, a deep fear, that his empire is decaying from within. He believes, if we do not strike first, we will be consumed. And history would prove that sometimes the worst thing that can happen is to get exactly what you wish for. Scene 2. The war he finally got. Sarajevo, June 1914. A single gunshot echoes through a narrow street in Sarajevo, and for Hotzendorf, a long-awaited moment awakens. He doesn't smile, but his hand trembles over the war maps. The time has come. Austria-Hungary, an army of 11 languages and 0 unity, marches into war. And here he learns the truth every general fears. No strategy survives a starving soldier. Scene 3. The Cost of a Dream. Galicia, Serbia, the Italian Alps, 1914 to 1916. The cost of his obsession. Total defeat in Serbia. 800,000 casualties on the Eastern Front. Retreat from Galicia. Thousands frozen to death in the Alps. Ethnic revolts across the empire. Hunger consuming Vienna and Budapest. The greatest multinational army in Europe shatters like glass under his maps. And yet, each time he repeats the same line, we must continue. But there is no one left who can continue. Scene 4. The General Without an Empire. Vienna, 1916 to 1918. When Emperor Franz Joseph dies, the empire loses its last thread of stability. The young Emperor Karl I dismisses Hotzendorf, not with rage, not with accusations, just one quiet sentence. Conrad, your war has killed us. Hotzendorf walks out of his office. For the first time in his life, he has no maps, no strategy, no army. Only silence, and the echo of marching that no longer exists. Scene 5. The Soldier of No Victory. Tyrol, 1925. He spends his final years in the mountains he once sent soldiers to die in. No medals, no monuments, no enemy who fears his name. Only a single phrase remains from him. I wanted the war, but the war never wanted me. Epilogue. The first crack in the crown. Hotzendorf was neither hero nor monster. He was the first fracture in the empire's golden crown, a man who believed fire was the last medicine. But the fire he lit burned a 6th century empire into ash. Preview. Episode 17.2. The Lion of the Alps. Svetozar Borovic. In the next episode, we follow a man who, in the very war Hotzendorf unleashed, became a legend, a commander who turned mountains into fortresses, defeat into resistance, and silence into roaring courage. If you don't want to miss the story of the Lion of the Alps, a tale of loyalty, ice, steel, and impossible endurance, subscribe now and ring the bell so you'll be the first to enter episode 17.2 when it arrives.